Hey, what's going on everyone? I'm back with another video today. So like I mentioned in the very first video when I was going over the bottom side of the bed, I'd make a video once I actually got it on the truck. So I actually got the bed mounted back on the truck. So like I mentioned, we actually had a roll pan made for the truck. It's all nice gapping here. We welded it all the way in. And then like I mentioned in the other one, we capped it off with the license plate, and you can see my little holes here where the actual license plate will mount, and then we got it cut back here for actually my tow hitch, so I installed that just to see the fitment of it, so you can see it all fits in nice. So I got a nice enclosed trailer that I'll be using to tow with the truck, so wanted to make sure all that worked. And then like I said, we had an emblem here we shaved, and then we also shaved the factory body line that came across, smoothed it out, and then we also got rid of the tailgate handle up here. And then I'll drop this down, the tailgate, and then we just reversed it, used the same factory handle and just put it on the inside, and then made our own panel pieces, so you can see it open real nice. And then like I mentioned, we did our little 45 here, you can kind of see it now. And then I'll close the tailgate, and then you can see where it comes up, and then 45, so it has a nice radius here on the inside of the bed. Normally this has the plastic that comes down. Obviously we took the plastic off and then made our own metal and welded it all the way down. And then coming to the front of the bed, I actually made this wider here to kind of match the sides, and it did the same radius here. It's because the factory one is super thin up here, so I wanted to give it a little more depth in there, make it look a little more even, so when you look around the bed, it kind of flows better. And you can see on the driver's side over there how the bed rails come down and it actually wraps underneath the bed on the bed sides. And then I'll drop the tailgate again here. Normally we had like factory holes in here and up front, and then you had like the plastic rubber up there. I filled all that in. And then this had like the bed liner here, which I still have on the tailgate, but I've already removed it off the bed. That was not fun. That was a lot of elbow grease getting that off, and I've already started hitting it with the 60 grit DA. You can still see areas that I got to do. And then I installed the color match tail lights. So I think it'll fit real nice. And then we'll do more body work here to kind of get our gapping, get it all nice and tidy. But it's just roughed in right now. And then this all has a nice rounded edge here, so it all flows with the truck. And then I could take here, now that the bed's on, and kind of show you the underneath, just to give you an idea of what it looks like underneath now with the tow hitch on. And then seeing the bed with all the holes filled and sanded and everything, it just looks really clean and fresh underneath. So once it's all actually frames powder coated and the bed's Line-X color match, it's going to look really sharp underneath there. So you can see I just have the 4 nickel plated bolts that are going to hold up the well, there's a total of 8, but you can see those 4 on the passenger side there. And you can see the roll pan, or it has the edge, the reverse lip all the way around, and then you can see the cutout there. So it all just came together real nice. I'm real happy with how it's turning out. Like I said, I still got to do the wheel wells. And let me grab, I have a few of the chipboard pieces here. See what I got. That I made on my chipboard. So we're going to use this as my template, and this is where we're going to make out of metal. So this will actually come in and sit right in here, like that. And we'll follow this body line here into the new piece. So you can kind of see, you know, that's what it'll look like when we have the panel made out of metal. Just to give you an idea there. So it looks pretty, it'll look pretty sharp with the B-roll and everything in there. And then I got the other side. Let me see if I can find that. Here's the driver's side back. I'll put this piece in. just to kind of show you. That'll be kind of what it'll look like from front to back with the bead roll and everything in there. So I'll be happy with how that looks. It'll be kind of one-off metal wheel wells for the bed. So then you can see the radius up in the front. And then like I mentioned, now that the bed's on, you can see how you can see this indentation and this little piece here. Like I said, we'll remove the glass, smooth this and smooth this, so it'll just be smooth all the way around. So I'm just gonna put a little video together just to show you now with the bed back on. And then you can come down in front of here and you can see it with the frame being all smooth. And then the wheel wells here, it's all just, when you stand back and look at it, it just looks really smooth. It doesn't look all those open holes and everything. It just looks clean. So I'm very happy with how it's turning out with the bed. So, all right guys, well, like I said, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the progress and the videos. You know, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you'd like. I'd appreciate that. I got a lot more videos coming. It's just, like I said, in stages. So, like I said, leave a comment. Let me know. Thanks.